Is er al hoor. Wel, laten we daar dan misschien mee beginnen. Een warm welkom voor Dirk Benedict. As usual, the rules are simple. If you have a question, just raise your hand and I'll come with the microphone to you. And Dirk will do the rest.
You do the Q, I'll do the A. Where's Mr. T? Mr. T. T doing Q&A. The alphabet game. Are all you people here, you're waiting for Tom to show up, is that it? What are all these people here for? Are you here for me? I feel a big responsibility, like I gotta tell some real deep, dark secrets to make it worth your while. I always feel like I owe you something. You come here for something special. I have nothing special. Well, I have one thing that's special, but I can only share it with special people. I mean, you know, one-on-one, but I can't. I mean, group-wise, I came a long way to be here. I have a son who's playing football for Racing Ghent. It's a Division III team in Ghent. For those of you, how many follow football? Room full of geeks. Am I the only? And I'm an American. I know. Oh, Gloria, Emily Gabriela, who flew in directly from Rio de Janeiro, or well, close, somewhere over there, somewhere in Venezuela. She got the prize for coming the longest distance to F.A.C.T.S. I came the second longest distance. I live in the state of Montana. I grew up as a cowboy on ranches from a young age, and the little town close had 900 people, and just big mountains, big valley. It's a very unique part of America, and it forever it affected my whole life and the way I think, with wide open spaces and a solitary existence. You spend a lot of time alone. And I had no TV growing up. So when I went off to university, I met people who had been watching TV. I didn't know what they were talking about. So I was kind of a freak. This is in the 60s. Because in Montana, we couldn't get television. So I never did develop the habit of watching TV. When I was doing Battlestar Galactica, and before Battlestar Galactica, I started doing that in 1978. Before that, I had a whole career. I started in theater in 1970, in repertory theater, you know, doing Shakespeare and Ibsen and what's a Belgian playwright? Metternich. Well, we never did. He only wrote one play, I think, or the opera. But anyway. And then I did some Broadway plays, and then I did a movie called when somebody was here with some pictures from it. It was a movie about a kid that's turned into a snake, made it in Hollywood. And then I did a movie with Twiggy, and then I starred on Broadway. I did 2 Broadway plays, and I got very sick. I had cancer, and I disappeared, and that's in 1974. Then when I came back, I eventually, which is the whole story, ended up on Battlestar Galactica, 1978. And I didn't own a television. So when Battlestar Galactica went on the air in September of 1978, I didn't watch it. And every Sunday night when Battlestar went, and it was 30 million people watched it the first night in America. Huge. So I would go to work, and Richard Hatch would say, "So, what did you think? Did you see the show? What did you think?" And I said, "I didn't watch it." He couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe it. He thought I didn't care because I didn't, you know, watch it. But I said, "Look, I was in it. Why would I watch it? I did it. I don't have to watch what I did. I only watch, you know, I know I was there. I did it." It's like. Anyway, so I never bought a television until 1984 when I was doing the A-Team. I was forced into it. I had a girlfriend who insisted that I was sexier and funnier and better on TV than I was in real life, which is true. But no, the truth is, I always liked to have episodes of the A-Team playing when I was making love in the bedroom. I would like to see myself on screen because it inspired me to do better. Actually, in some cultures, that's considered funny. Okay. I'm having a great time, but I know I'm speaking a foreign language. Unfortunately, I don't know Flemish. I have phlegm, but I don't know. Okay, so we'll open this up to the cue part. And we'll find out where your minds are at and what you really want to know. Yes?
You mentioned that your son was in Ghent. I wondered if you spent any time in the city, and could you just walk around here, and what do you think about the city of Ghent, this city, because your son is, yeah.
Yeah, I was here. My son is here, and he came on trial last January of this year. It's 2000, and I came to Ghent in March and was with him March. We lived down there by Belfortstraat, down in Centrum, by the market, on Königstraat. I don't know if you know, it's a little street. There, Straat, and so yeah, hung out. I was here March, April, May, June, May. I left in May. And Roland signed a contract, and then I stayed. So I like Belgium very much. They changed a lot. I loved it mostly because I could smoke my cigars in the smoking places. So that's changed. So I don't know. I don't like it so much now. That was wonderful. It was wonderful because I like to sit and have a whiskey and smoke a cigar. But Roland, I like it a great deal. It's got, you know, I don't eat meat. I like grains and beans, and so Ghent is wonderful for that. There's all kinds of places to eat oats and rabbit food. Next question.
Yes, hi, Mr. Benedict. Hi. I grew up with Battlestar Galactica back in the States, and I have very fond memories of it, so thank you for that. And I wondered, how did you get started? How did you get cast in Battlestar Galactica? Did you just go read for the part, or, I mean, you said you had no TV, or?
Yeah, I had difficulty getting into both Battlestar Galactica and the A-Team. I hate telling these stories in one way because they sound like complaining or, oh, it was so hard, I couldn't, but it just happens to be true. They're really strange experiences because Battlestar Galactica in 1977, I had a meeting with Glenn Larson that was arranged by an agent I had, and I didn't know Glenn was writing Battlestar Galactica, but I met with him in New York City, and we got along great because I'm a very silly guy, funny guy, and he is too. So we met in New York, and he was going to give me 15 minutes. He was at the Sherry Netherland Hotel in New York City, very rich. I was there with him 4 hours, and we were laughing and having a great time. That was like, and then I found out, he told me later that he was writing this show called Battlestar Galactica, and when he met me, he said, I knew I wanted you to play Starbuck. You were perfect. You were just the kind of quality I wanted. So, in September of 1977, I did audition to play the part for Universal Studio, and they said yes, fantastic. The network said no. So, to make a long story short, I did 5 screen tests. They would put me on the screen. I go into a sound stage. They had sets. They had wardrobe. We did some of the scenes with the OVRs. We did a scene with a Cylon. This because the network didn't want me. They kept saying. First they said I was not. I didn't look old enough. Then I said I wasn't tall enough. Then they said I wasn't physical enough. The last one they said. This went on from September through Christmas, January, and Glenn and Universal Studios wanted me in that NBC, the big channel, they said no, no, no. And the last one they said was, he's just not sexy enough. I swear to God, he's not sexy enough. So Glenn Larson, so they started filming. They filmed for 1 week doing Battlestar Galactica. They started filming March 1st. It was my birthday, I remember, 1978. And I got a call like the week before from my agent. Said, because they called and said, no, they're not going to hire you. You didn't get the part. So this was a part that was written for me that I did screen tech. So I was going to leave the business and go back to Montana and do other things. And then Glenn Larson went into, they started filming, and then he shot around the scenes with Starbuck until they could not avoid it. And he went to the head of Universal Studios, Frank Price. He said, what are we going to do? We have to cast Starbuck because he has to, the character has to work. And Frank Price said, well, we already did. It's Dirk Benedict. He said, no, and the NBC says, no, it's not sexy enough. And Frank Price, they said, what? They said, no, no, no. So Frank Price had a meeting with all the executives, the big, powerful network people. And they had a meeting, and on a Sunday afternoon, Beverly Hills, big screening room. They showed all my screen tests. And then Frank Price said, now, what's wrong with this actor? And the head of casting for the TV channel stands up and says, well, we just don't think. And Frank Price called her a name. B words. Listen, you bitch. We're going to hire this actor, and if you don't like it, we're going to take the show to a different... And walked out of the room, and that was it. And all I know, I learned this 2 years later. I didn't know any of this. All I know is I got a phone call from an agent. He says, you're not going to believe this. I just got a call. They want you to go, you go to work. You go to work. That's how I got Starbuck. It was over the dead bodies of a lot of people. Nobody wanted me in that show except the people that created it. So the network never did like me. It was ABC. I said NBC. It was ABC. So while I did the show, the network never did like me in it. They thought, even when I got all this fan mail and all this, Hollywood is a strange place. Another question. I'll do some quick answers because I think, am I out of time? That's what I used to ask my wife all the time. Is my time up? Can I? Because she only gave me 15 minutes every week, so I used to go, honey, is it today? No, it's tomorrow. At 3:30. 3:30 and 3:45. I got a pencil there. Sex. 3:30, 3:45. Well, you have to do that when you live with a career woman. You gotta like, and in Hollywood especially, everything is like, okay, we'll have tea next Friday at 10:30